I genuinely think that this man is the Bob Ross of camera repair.
I've heard that many times. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh man,
Happy
it's
little cameras.
happy little accidents sometimes. It's like, where did that little screw go? I've got a pile of them over here from an ill-advised attempt at fixing something.
I have a few of those. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I bet you do. Find them barefoot sometimes when you're not paying attention.
Oh man, the amount of time that I've spent crawling around on my floor trying to find little screws and springs, it's a bit of my day.
Oh, I can only imagine. How do you stay so calm? Because I am not a calm person. If I were screwing something and the screwdriver slipped and I stuck myself in the hand, I would immediately turn into like Mount Vesuvius, man. And you're just like, oh, it's fine. It's okay. We'll get through this together. And I'm like, that thing would have been moving at Mach Jesus across the room, man.
Oh, I mean, I've had a lot of dark nights of the soul for sure with learning how to do this and everything. But I work on cameras that I've worked on many, many times, so it's become kind of like a therapeutic, meditative thing for me. No, definitely, I definitely get frustrated, especially when it's something I can't figure out. With this craft, like I think the hardest thing about it is the lack of information. It's the it's a lack of information, lack of resources to be able to do it. So when you run into like an issue that you can't figure out, it can be tough because you just kind of have to throw yourself at it until you figure something out, or put it away in a plastic bag in the corner and try to forget about it
Later. I've got a couple fix-it-laters laying around here. They're rangefinders, so I have no idea how to fix them at all. So how did you get involved in camera repair, man? That's like, you don't hear people getting into that in the modern age. So what led to that for you?
Yeah, no, I get this question a lot, and I never got into it like thinking that it would be something that I did for a living. I got into this just trying to fix my own cameras, just trying to get my film cameras working again, and that's kind of how it started. Just when you order a camera off of eBay, even if it says like mint condition, excellent, plus 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 plus, or like whatever they put there, it doesn't mean that it's going to work right. It might be in like really good physical condition, but these cameras have been sitting around for decades, in a closet or in a basement and in an attic. And there's a lot of things that need to be fixed on them, especially with these older mechanical cameras. But I got into it just like replacing my own light seals and cleaning my own viewfinder, or cleaning out the corrosion in my battery compartment, little jobs, and had some success with it. And then it just kind of turned into this hobby that I was doing. And then a little bit of a side gig. And then eventually that just kind of took over into what I do. So.
It's crazy. On your TikTok the other night, when you were live, you said that during the day you take care of your son, your 1-year-old son.
Yeah, I have a 1-year-old son.
Well, congratulations. Well, we're gonna pause for a sec. How do you like being a father?
It's the best. I love it. I really do love it. It's really it changes your world, of course, right? But it really has brought like a lot of meaning to what I do, and just new perspective. And I honestly just love spending time with him. It's a really good time. But yeah, like you were saying, I spend my days with him, watching him, and just raising him. And then at night, I pop into my shop and I do my camera repairs.
Man, you're living the dream over there is what you're doing.
It's pretty good, man. I enjoy it.
I'm kind of the same in the fact that I have a very malleable schedule. I can work during the day, work at night, spend time with the kids. So anytime there's like a snow day or one of them are sick, I'm the guy on duty for it.
Yeah.
But they're at the age, my son is 11, my daughter is 14. And I'm just like, you guys are going to need to chill for a minute because I need to get this work done. They're at the age where I can kick them outside and let them go play in the woods or go do something. But
Right
they never do, man. They never do. And they're going to be like, what are you doing? What are you working on?
Yeah.
Who are you editing for? What's the podcast today? So I'm really excited for you. I can tell your eyes light up when you talk about your son. I noticed it in your video, and I can tell you are a phenomenal dad. So I just wanted to say congratulations, and I'm looking forward to seeing your evolution as a father.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And, get excited when they want to hang out with you because from what I've learned, I've been a father for 14 months, but it goes by so quick. And I know that he's like growing really, and he's going through a lot of changes right now. So it seems maybe a lot faster. But, one day they're going to be out and about and you're going to want them to ask what you're doing and want to hang out with you. And it'll flip, you know?
I
You'll
don't
be
know,
calling them.
man. The girl, yes. The boy,
Yeah.
I need to like pry him off. He's like a barnacle. Just like he's on there. He ain't letting go.
I
But
love
we'll
it.
see. He's still 11, so the hormones haven't fully hit yet.
There you go. Yeah, he's about to go through some big changes.
Yeah.
I like your cup. I have that same cup, by the way.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody always thinks it's coffee. It's not. It's just Fresca because I have a raging Fresca addiction. It's not good. I'm on like case 4 this week.
Oh, that's great.
You're one of the only people I see consistently posting and talking about camera repair, and you're willing to answer a billion questions because you got so many questions the other night on your video, and you took your time to go through and answer almost all of those questions. You answered 2 of mine, and I would not have. I like again with the patience thing. It's you explain so well, and you're so well spoken, and you don't do it in a way that's condescending to the audience like I've seen a lot of other creators explain things. I like that you're kind of building your own little community over there on AOK Camera because I saw people talking in the comments. They know each other, they interact a lot, so you have a community built over there, and that's awesome for you.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of, I'm live for a little bit and I'll answer some questions and I try to get to as many as I can. But I'm also working, so like I need and like I'm limited on my time, so I try to find a balance there. But I really, and then the conversation does sometimes just kind of leave me and they have like little side conversations going on. I kind of tune in. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's cool. And then yeah, the same people start coming back and back again. And but yeah, and I really do try to uh demystify it a little bit. And that was one of my big goals with this live is, to kind of give people an idea of what goes into the camera repair process and try to help people maybe get some of their cameras figured out, troubleshoot for them, and share whatever knowledge I possibly can. One of my biggest goals, and something that's really missing with this space with camera repair, because there's very few of us out there. We're far and few between, and I've never even met another camera repair person in
Wow.
person before. So I've met a lot of people online and through my lives, which has been great. So there's been a little bit of a community growing there. But I really want to teach workshops one day and maybe like even host workshops where I can bring people in and we can learn about cameras together and I can kind of share a little bit of the knowledge that I have. And I think the only school for this, like it's not really a school, but it's like a course is in Finland through the, what are they called? It's camera. I think it's called Camera Store. But they do
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some workshops and things like that. But and I considered it for a while when I was first getting started. I was like, do I want to go to Finland to do this? Like, because you're just trying to reach and grab for whatever information you possibly can get. But I'd like to do something like that here in the States eventually. It's one of my big goals. But and just kind of starting with these lives. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me and just ask how I got started and how they could get started and what resources are available. I just try to share as much of that as possible and try to simplify it in like a digestible way because these service like I get a lot of my stuff from service manuals and like these old like CLA guides and you really got to like sit down and try to like work your way through the all of the information and it can be difficult to find exactly what you're looking for in there. So
Because there was how many thousands of cameras made over the years, and each one of those probably
yeah,
had a pretty specific manual and repair
yeah.
system. I'm sure a lot of them shared some things, but there's always going to be one little thing that's different, and you can't figure it out until you find that exact part in the book that you need.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's every camera is different, like you're saying. Like there's like a different way to get in and a different way to get out. As you like taking it apart and putting it back together, it's a different process, and you need to make sure certain things are lined up properly. And if one thing is out of alignment, the whole thing breaks up. Or and sometimes you don't know why And those were like the nights where I can't sleep, because if I can't figure something out, and my wife knows right away too. Like I'll walk in and she'll be like, "What's going on?" She's like a radar detector for it, and I'm like, "Nothing. It's fine. I'll figure it out." Um, but yeah, I'll just keep banging my head against it until I can get through it. And when I do, it's great because I'll have that in my toolkit for the next repair, and it's something that I can bring forward. But yeah, it's probably the hardest thing about this is just not having anyone to kind of talk to about it. For the most part.
Right now,
Yeah,
you're the guy that everybody talks to about it. You've kind of
I
like
guess
risen
so.
up in the
Yeah.
ranks, man. You're like, oh no, how did I get here?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get a lot of questions that I don't know the answer to, and I get a lot of people asking me to repair cameras that I've never touched before. And I repaired maybe like 15, 20 different models, and I stick to those pretty much. And it's the golden era of mechanical SLR cameras from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's when they were being built. They were like robust. That's when you got like the K1000s and the Spotmatics, the Nikon F and the F2 and the Minolta SRTs and the OM1s from Olympus, like those kinds of cameras that were fully mechanical, built to last. And those cameras had like a whole repair side of it. Like they were meant to be repaired. They were understood that these are mechanical instruments that need to be fine tuned over time, and they were kind of built in a way that made them easier to take apart and reassemble. And they came with service guides and repair manuals and like this whole industry behind them. And then when we got into like the 80s, 90s, late 70s, things started introducing a lot more technology into them, a lot more plastic components, microprocessors, and LEDs, and like all these different things that, you know, they weren't really, they don't age well, is the thing. Like older electronics don't age that well. And I have nothing against like electronic cameras because I get a lot of questions for things like the Canon 81s and the super programs from Pentax and a lot of these like later versions of cameras. But um, it's hard to fix those cameras because all the parts that I get come from other cameras. Like the manufacturers don't support these things anymore. So any part that I need to pull it from another camera in order to get it. And like if it's an old aging electronic component, they're all in the same boat. So it's like it's kind of a hit or miss whether or not I'm actually able to get the part for it and whether or not it's going to work or if it's just going to break in another year. So that's kind of why I focus on the cameras that I do focus on because they have more longevity to them. And that's why you see a lot of these cameras like the Nikon F and these ones kind of being passed down as heirloom cameras because they do last and they last generations, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of what I've invested my time into learning.
You bring up a good point because I'm trying to think of the last time I saw a repair manual that came with some kind of product that I purchased. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's happened since I was like 9 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I worked at Best Buy for like 6 years. And that's kind of like what I did while I was learning how to do this. So I would like work there and then I would come home and I'd spend like 4 or 5 hours just taking cameras apart and putting them back together and trying to figure it out. But working there, you see so many electronic components come back and like just piles and piles of things that just get recycled because it's often cheaper to buy something new than it is to get something sent out and repaired and have it brought back to you, which is kind of wacky, right? Like it's weird that we've gotten ourselves into that situation where that is the case, and there's not that many people that support like the repair world anymore, and we don't make things that are easy to repair anymore. So yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's like planned obsolescence, right?
Yeah, I have that written down, engineered obsolescence written down.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was younger seeing TV repair shops, antenna repair shops, refrigerator
Uh
repair
huh.
shops. And we recently had to have somebody come take a look at our hot water heater. And this guy's like, this one's not built to be
Yeah.
repaired. And I'm like, not built to be
Yeah.
repaired? This is like $6,000. What do you mean you can't repair it?
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just
It's
filling
it's
landfills
crazy.
with junk, dude.
Uh-huh. We are. Yeah, I know we are. It's crazy. We started doing this in like the 90s, and it's become like part of their model because they want their products to last a couple years, and then they want you to come back and buy another one, and it's just kind of what's happened. And the thing with these older mechanical cameras is they were an investment for people. Like they weren't inexpensive, to buy like a Nikon F back in the day, like or a Nikon F2 or any of these mechanical cameras. It was an investment that a professional would invest into, and they would know that it's something that they could get repaired if needed, and yeah, I think it's something that we are definitely missing in this day and age. And it makes you wonder like how long we can do this for.
Oh, we can't, man. We can't. We financially
It's not
cannot do this much
sustainable.
longer.
Yeah.
No. Even with cars,
Mhm.
we had to replace a headlight. And instead of just
Yeah.
changing the bulb, we had to replace the whole housing unit. And they were like, yeah, it's $1,900. I'm like, for a headlight? They're like, it's the
You're like, I
assembly.
need it. Yeah.
I would fight a Dodge engineer immediately. It's
It's
wild.
like this way. It's this way across all the different industries.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I could never fix my Sony. There's the
Hmm.
camera shop in town could never fix my Sony. They're gonna have to
Yeah.
ship that out to the engineers or the in-house repair, and it's gonna cost
Yeah.
about as much as getting a new Sony because I had my A7 III shutter died, and they quoted me like $900 to fix the shutter, and I was like, I could buy a new. At the time, I could buy one used
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where a lot of people fall into with all of this is like, oh, it's just cheaper to buy a new one. Um, and with these older cameras, though, I mean, how many cameras have you gotten off eBay that like work properly?
Oh, actually, I've had really good luck with eBay.
You've had good luck.
I've
That's
had
good.
great
Yeah.
luck with eBay, but I've also had a couple where I was really excited and then disappointed and then sent them
Yeah.
as cursed objects to my friends.
Like the video that you just posted of you throwing away your MX, I was like,
Oh, yes. I was so mad at that camera, man.
it probably felt good, but
It felt great, and it's still sitting there. It is 15 feet that way, and it ain't moving.
oh man.
You did bring up a good point with the secondhand market being unreliable and kind of insane on prices right now, too, because
Yeah,
people are discovering the value of these older cameras, and
they are.
influencers, as we like to call them, are
Hmm.
hyping some of these cameras. And there are some that are just obsolete. Once they brick, they're done.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people spend $4,000 to $10,000 on these potential bricks on eBay right
Oh,
now.
I know.
It's not good, man. These people don't know what they're getting into. I did enough research to be like, I am not buying that X Pan unless I find one from an old lady in an estate sale. Ten
And
thousand
if you could
dollars.
find someone to fix it, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, I want one so bad though. I don't want to
Oh,
have
they're
to
beautiful.
like take out a loan. I'd have to take out a loan to get that camera.
I have a few cameras like that I really want to get that are they've just gone way up in price, or held their price, I guess, over the years. But I know one that I really want to get into is the wide lux. I think those
Everybody's been
cameras
talking
are
about that again, dude.
yeah, it's because they're releasing a new one, right? With Jeff Bridges, but I really like that camera. I think it's super unique and mechanically it's really interesting. But even a broken one is like $1,500. It's like,
A
yeah, it's
broken
like
one.
difficult. I know, like I'm not even sure if it works. Like it's just in good condition. So
One thing I didn't think about asking, but now that I'm thinking about it, is there a bridge between 3D printing and camera repair right now where you can substitute some of those older parts with 3D printed parts?
for sure, yeah, yeah, I think that's definitely an avenue I want to explore, or maybe link up with somebody that has a 3D printer and does it, and I can like send them parts that they could scan in and maybe print me. But a lot of the parts that I work with are metal, so it's like I don't know. I don't know too much about 3D printing to like what kind of materials they can do it out of. I think it's mostly like plastics and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you could replace some components like that, some plastic gears and like advanced levers and things like that break, which would be great. But for metal parts, that's what I need. Like I would need like someone with a CNC machine or something like that to make some parts, at an affordable price point. Because I see people that they sell like camera parts on eBay too. Like people will take these old mechanical cameras and like sell the advanced lever for like $15 and like sell like a cap for like $20. And I'm like, it's crazy, because I'm not gonna pay $20 for a cap when I can get a parts camera with that cap in it for like $30. And then I have all these other parts as well. Uh, but people are doing that. So I would love to maybe link up with somebody, but that would be able to produce parts en masse for like things that commonly break. That would be really cool. Yeah, one day in the future, maybe.
It'd be nice. I bet if you put a call out on TikTok, somebody would be all over that because there are people who are just as obsessed with 3D printing as we are with cameras.
That's who we need to find. Yeah, yeah.
People are just doing random designs of CNC now for views on TikTok, and they're making good money doing it. So if they can be like, yeah, we talked to Martin over at AOK, and we decided to do a long run of these, then the cross promotions there.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe someone will hear this and reach out to me. But yeah, I should make a video or something.
We're onto something, man. You're gonna start your own little camera parts supplier.
I would love to. Yeah, that'd be so cool. Um, there's a lot of potential with, the next coming years because things are getting easier and easier for us to be able to do on our own at home. So who knows what, 5, 10 years from now this will look like. Maybe we will be able to like print new circuit boards, that match the old ones or make these kinds of things in our homes, because I work in my backyard. So I have a shop in my backyard. So I do everything here. And it would be really great to be able to manufacture parts as like on demand. Like, oh, I need this part right now. I'm just going to print it out and then put it right into the camera. That would be super cool and make my life a lot easier for sure. Because I'll order parts cameras and it's a total gamble. Like you don't know. Like I've gotten cameras that I've ordered in for customers to grab the parts off of them and replace things. And I do this often, but sometimes I'll open the camera up and that part will be missing. Like someone else has already been in there and taken it out, or it's also broken in the same exact way that this customer camera is broken. So then I'm like, I'll have to order another one, I guess. And that's just kind of how it is. So
That adds up fast too. It's unreliable and it adds
yeah,
up. So then you're eating
yeah,
the cost off your profit. Yeah, I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
That's not good. That's a bad
yeah.
business model, man. We need to rethink some things. What the hell?
Yeah, it is what
Get
it
out of here.
is. And if I can't repair a camera, I don't charge for it. So
Oh,
I
really?
take, yeah, I take it up front, and just if I accept a camera into my shop, it's one that I think that I can fix. So usually, but it's a gamble that way too, because I don't know, I don't feel right charging people for work that wasn't done correctly, I guess, or wasn't able to be done.
You have a
Yeah,
fatal flaw, and it's that you're an honest businessman.
they usually don't go hand in hand.
I appreciate that about you, but there's a lot of people who are going to take advantage of that, and it scares me
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But this is it's something that I found a lot of enjoyment in this before I ever started doing it as a job, and it's something that I would honestly do if we didn't live in the world that we live in and the economy that we live in, and we like have to pay our bills and stuff. I would do this for free. Like it's something that I really enjoy, and I enjoy like sending the message out there and sharing it with people and bringing these old cameras back to life and keeping them alive. And I just find it really fun and interesting and fascinating. And yeah, it's just something I would always do regardless. And I have my own film camera. Like I'm a photographer, and like I love keeping these things going. And I just have a lot of appreciation for them. So
You shoot the Minolta SRT 101, right? That's the
it's
one
my
that you've
favorite
been
camera.
you've been
Yeah.
petting that in your videos lately. Yeah, man, that's a cool kit. I even put a Minolta up here. I didn't have this till
Oh,
recently,
look
but
at that.
I tossed it up here just to represent the Minolta gang.
It's a beauty.
I haven't even shot it yet. I just got this like 2 weeks ago. My friend sent it to
What is
me.
that? Is it,
It's the
is it an
XGM.
XGM? Nice. Yep. I like
Yeah,
those little
so I'm
cameras.
gonna put some 800T through it probably later tonight if I can manage to get out into this blustery nightmare weather.
How's it? Is it snowing over there? Yeah.
Yeah, and this week it's supposed to get down to negative 22. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's cold. Yeah. I used to live in Mount Shasta, and it would get like that there. But I live down near Sacramento now. There's no snow here, so
see, you
we
made the
just
good
had fog.
decision. You bailed on the winter. I need to do that. The winter, like, custody won't let me abandon Michigan, but I want to. So, what do you think about all the new film cameras coming out? All the electronic ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it because it's just going to help the community and get more people introduced to to film photography. So which I think is good for all of us to keep the industry alive. I would love to see them produce like a mechanical camera, like something that is pretty bare bones, something like a K1000 or like the Nikon F. Just bring something like that back, and I think it would sell like hotcakes. Like shutter speeds bulb to 1/2000, a simple light meter in there, but everything else mechanical, and keep it repairable, keep it like something that people can invest into and gets the job done, and maybe is compatible with like if they did bring back like a Nikon F style camera, make it compatible with all the Nikon F glass, or if it was a Pentax K1000 type of camera, make it compatible with all that old glass again. And I think that would sell like crazy. And I think people would really get into that, because there's been nothing that's been made like that for years, other than like maybe the Leica cameras, but those are out of reach for a lot of people as well. So
Yeah. Do you have a Leica
yeah.
over there? You like SLRs, but do you have a Leica over there?
No, I don't have. I don't have any Leicas. Yeah, I'm just SLRs pretty much. But
Good for you.
I'd like
Me
to
too.
get. I'd like to get into repairing them a little bit, but that's also like a massive investment, to get started. And it's not that they're like crazy to work on, because I've definitely looked at the service manuals and looked inside these cameras, and they're pretty straightforward as far as camera repair goes. But it's the investment, like, because a broken Leica is super expensive, and I would need like parts and time with these cameras in order to be able to offer it for customers. But just haven't gotten there yet, I guess. But there's multiple cameras like that I want to work on. Like the Hasselblad 500 series would be really cool. The Rolleiflexes and those types of cameras as well. So
See, I'm a 35 millimeter SLR guy. I love the SLRs. I do shoot a Mamiya 645, but that's just a big SLR.
yeah.
And I just love them. And then somebody will hand me a rangefinder, and I am terrible with rangefinder cameras. Just absolute trash. The only one I've had good luck with is the Ricoh 500G, which is
Yeah.
the coolest little film camera. It's so cute. It fits in
Yeah.
my flannel pocket, and it's perfect. But it's like shooting a gun that I don't know how to use, where it's just all over the place. It's fully
Yeah,
auto.
totally.
It's just gone.
Every once in a while you hit your target, but everything else is all over the place and dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm an SLR guy. I like the Pentaprism. I like looking through the viewfinder and seeing what I'm going to get. I like how modular a lot of them are, and I really like that you have so many more lens options with an SLR than you do with a rangefinder. And but I do think rangefinders are some of the prettiest cameras.
Yeah.
If they worked as well as they were pretty, then I'd probably hop on it. But no, yeah, I'm SLRs all day for sure.
If I could put a Canon AE1 inside of a Yashica 35, I would be the happiest photographer on earth, because the Yashica 35 is one of the prettiest cameras I've ever seen.
Yeah,
But I love
yeah,
my AE1, or my A1 rather, so much.
yeah.
It's just, I can't get over it.
It's a great
I'm
camera.
going through
It is.
I'm going through a bit of an existential crisis with cameras lately about nothing, and like nothing is as good as the A1 to me. I can shoot I shot somebody's Leica, and I was like, this isn't an A1. And they're like, no, this is a good camera. I'm like, so's the A1. Leave me alone.
It is. Yeah, the
It is.
A1's
It's a
great. The
great
AE1's great. They're all wonderful cameras. I like the Canon A series, and they're probably the number one camera that I get asked about that I don't repair. So it's I get questions about that one a lot, and I refer them to other colleagues that I have. But it's a great system. It really is, and then the lenses are really good for them too. And it's a really good like if someone's looking to get into film photography, it's a really good one to start with as well, because it's got some like automatic features and whatnot, some crossover.
When I made that Pentax video the other day when I tossed it in the garbage, somebody commented, it was like, you're probably somebody who shoots like a Canon A1 and think you know what you're talking about. And I was like, hang on, how did you know?
You're like, that's layered.
It cut me so deep. With being a new dad and doing the camera repair, doing the content creation side of it, how often are you actually getting out to shoot photos yourself now?
I shoot every day. So
Oh
I
wow.
because yeah, so my son and I get out together. So we'll go on like at least one walk a day in the morning, and sometimes a second one in the afternoon, and then we'll go for drives as well. So he tags along with me, and he's got his own little camera, like a little toy camera, that he like has attached to his stroller, and he'll like be clicking the little shutter on it, and it plays music and stuff. But we're kind of doing it together. But yeah, I get out at least twice a day. So and it's usually just around my town. Like I go for walks around town, or I drive in the countryside, and we'll pull over and take pictures. But yeah, I try to get out at least once or twice a day.
Do you not post your photos online? Because usually it's all just camera repair stuff. Are you not sharing any of your photos?
No, I don't have any of my photos online. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
I
How are
used
you
to.
surviving in this age of attention without posting your photos online?
I know I've kept them all for myself. And even I even have like a huge backlog of stuff that needs to be developed. Probably over 100 rolls that I haven't developed over the last like year and a half. Because I just haven't had the time to self develop. Between spending the days with my son and then running a business and trying to create work as well. It's just been I've just been shooting pretty much my cameras, and then a lot of digital work as well. So
Digital?
yeah,
Hang on here, sir.
blasphemy.
What are you shooting for digital? Hang on. I feel like somebody just pulled
Yeah.
back the curtain on the Wizard of Oz here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I get that a lot actually when I mention it in my TikToks. They're like, "You," and then people think that like because I do this as a living and like repair mechanical cameras, that it would be like the worst if I touched a digital camera. But no, I shoot with a Nikon D810. So
Oh,
I like
okay.
DSLRs. I like older DSLRs, and I have a Nikon D3 that I really like. I think it's sitting right over there. And that's a great camera. I really like that one too. So nothing like crazy new. Not really into the mirrorless cameras at all. Don't really like the EVF, and I don't do any video. So it's the
See.
DSLRs work perfect, and then the Nikon D810 has like 36 megapixels. It's in a crazy amount of yeah, it's a crazy amount of detail, and it's all I would ever need. Um, and then I wanna get into like if I want to digitize my film scans with it, I think that would be a great camera to do it with too. So,
It would be. I think my buddy uses that to scan his negatives.
does he? Yeah, with like a
Yeah.
macro lens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do when I get down to because I do want to start sharing some photos, but I just haven't really taken the leap with them. I've just kind of kept them all for myself and my family.
You should just randomly drop a photo book one day. You have enough of
Yeah,
an audience that it would sell.
I'm
Because,
definitely working
yeah,
on
you
one.
got the
So
numbers.
or
Oh, are you
something.
really?
Yeah, I've been working on one for a couple of years, but it's such a crazy process, like of like getting all the photos together and trying to find like a through line with it, and because for me, my photography feels like so random because I just take pictures of whatever interests me. I don't really have like something that I'm looking for, but there is like a commonality between it all. If you look over your photos over years, you'll start to see things that are kind of like that you're more drawn to, right? Um, but yeah, I'm working on something, whether it's going to be a zine or like a book. I think every photographer wants to make a book at some point, you know, but it just takes time, and I don't want to rush anything, and I'm not really in a hurry to do it either. Because for me, like it's just the joy of being out with a camera is like the most important thing to me, and the thing that I love about it the most is when you have a camera in your hand, like it changes your perspective, right? Like versus like when you're walking around without one, you start to see like colors and shapes and light and texture and like how they all interplay together, and like certain different subjects will start popping out just by holding the camera in your hand. Like you just see the world differently, which I think is really cool. So I think that's just a beautiful way to go through your life. And that's what brings me the most joy with this. And then the photo is kind of like a bonus, right?
The act of shooting is what you like. You like the act of
That
shooting.
yeah, and the cameras, like the cameras just bring me joy. So it's like the combo of that is what I love. And yeah, the photo is kind of a bonus, but and we'll see. I'll see what I do with it eventually. But
I would love to see some of your photography. Now my interest is like high in this now. You're gonna have to start your own separate little Instagram like Kummerfeld did recently, where he shares his personal photos versus his professional photos.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's a good idea. I like what he's doing on Substack too.
Yeah, man, that audio thing with the photos.
He like pairs it with an audio of like where he took it from. I was like, that's actually really cool. I think that's a great way to like bring in the environment a little bit more. And like I'll sit there and I'll just because I'll look at them longer. Like I'll look at the photo longer and like kind of study it when you have like the audio that goes along with it. Because he like took a picture of it. I think it was like, you know, it was near the coast or something. And then you had like the waves and the birds going off in the background. And it really created like a full texture to it. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like I don't think you can do that on Instagram. So I think that's pretty cool. Substack's neat. I kind of learned about it a little bit more from you.
Oh, dude.
And like watching the
Yeah.
podcast and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm going to check it out. I haven't done
Hang on,
anything
you
on
watched
there,
the
but
podcast?
I have. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
A couple of them.
Awesome, thank you. I'm always
Yeah, man.
shocked when someone's like, "Yeah, I watched it." I'm like, "You did?"
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You've had some great people on here and people that I've looked up to, you know, and yeah, it's good. I like what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I'm just having fun. I'm somebody who I'm not afraid to ask the dumb questions.
Yeah. There's no dumb questions.
There's some dumb ones out there. We both know it, but we'll be nice about it when they're asked. But the podcast has been fun for me because I've learned so much from so many people. But the one thing I've learned the most is that the film community is way nicer when you're face to face talking versus when you're anonymous on the internet. Like I can't imagine you getting all that much hate. I can't imagine anybody being like, blah, 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 blah.
Not really. You know, you get a troll every once in a while, but I think it's kind of funny. But it's yeah, you know, and they're everyone's really nice, you know, for the most part, and really supportive. And but yeah, there is like this. The thing that gets me the most is like the dialogue between digital and film. Like there's like this tribalism that's happened for some reason. I think we do it naturally as humans, but it doesn't need to be that way at all. Like you can shoot both, and like a lot of people are shocked when I say that I shoot some digital work, and they're like, no, 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 no. Like
You can't.
you are a film photographer. No, I shoot both, and I think that there's good things to learn from both of them as well that you can apply.
It really bothers me when somebody is okay. I don't want to say it bothers me, but somebody will be interested in photography, and
Yeah.
rather than learning on digital, which would be the smart, more cost-efficient way to do it, they go
Uh-huh.
immediately to film, and then they get so
Yeah.
disillusioned with it because of the results aren't great, the cost is high compared to digital. It's just at this point, I think shooting film is more expensive than shooting some digital cameras. By the end, with as much as I shoot, it's definitely cheaper for me to shoot digital. Because, like you,
Yeah.
I try to shoot every day, just not for 6 months of the year because winter. So I shoot twice as much in the nice weather. It's just, I wish people that were just getting into photography would start out on digital. And I know there's going to be some people who are like, well, you can't do that, but it's not pure. Yeah, it is, man. It's the same thing. It's a box with a hole in light. Same
Exactly.
concept.
Yeah, yeah. It's comparing the two is like comparing buttons and zippers, right? It's like they both have the same outcome. Like they zip your jacket up or they button your jacket up, and I think comparing the two is kind of funny. And they have things that you can learn from both. And I think if you are starting out, that you should probably start out with the digital camera, and you know you can do both at the same time as well. But when you're shooting digital, like you have it's going to teach you how to like compose, and like you have a lot more opportunity and chances, and like you can just delete a photo and retake it, and you can take 100 photos of the same thing and kind of learn what you like and what you don't like a lot faster, right? You get that immediate feedback. Whereas with film photography, you know, there's a lot of time that elapses between when you take a shot and you have it in your hands, or you have a scan of it. Like the development process and everything, it could be sometimes weeks or longer before you get to see that photo and learn from it and learn what you like and what you don't like. You know, so I think having that immediacy is going to teach you a lot quicker, just the basic essentials. You know, and you can like put it on manual mode and learn about the exposure triangle and like learn all these things much quicker because you have a screen on the back and you can see exactly what you're doing and what your settings do. And yeah, I think if you're starting out, that it's the way to go. And then, but you can also shoot film at the same time. And then if that's what your end goal is, that you're going to want to know all those basic kind of things before you jump into it, because you'll have a lot of like, what did I do, and a lot of like, just your learning process is going to be extended for sure. So the learning curve is way higher.
I'm currently going through a bulk roll of Vision 800T, and
Yeah.
I cannot figure out what the exposure actually needs to be on this. I've gone through 4 rolls of this, and I'll shoot it and immediately develop it because I have
Okay.
no
Yeah.
patience, and I'll be excited every single time. And every time I'm like, this is still underexposed. What is going on? I've already made these changes. It looks the same.
Oh.
So it's expired, but they said it was frozen. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to figure it out. But it
Yeah.
sucks. So that's an example. Like I started getting into bulk rolling as a cost saving measure for the amount of film I was shooting because I was burning through money real fast.
It's the way to
And
go. Yeah. Yeah.
but the results are so unpredictable on expired film, especially like the Vision films, because there aren't all that many people that enjoy shooting the Vision films. Like I love 500T, I love 200T, and I just happened upon a bulk roll of 800 on Etsy,
Oh
and I was
wow.
like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. And this is the only film recently that's given me high blood pressure. It's just like so much anger. I'll get to it. I'm gonna shoot more today.
When you're bulk rolling, when you have a film like that you're trying out, are you doing full 36 exposure rolls, or do you do like smaller rolls? Right?
Smaller
Yeah,
rolls.
you're doing
Typically,
like
when I'm bulk rolling, I usually do 24s because of how impatient I am. And unless it's like I know I'm going out on a professional shoot and will need the 36 exposures, then I will bulk roll 36. But for the most
yeah.
part, it's 24 or 12 if I'm testing a camera. But then I feel bad because I'm like, I'm using this chemical on 12 exposures, and the chemicals are expensive too.
So then you're kind of falling back into the pricier options. But yeah, yeah. I think bulk loading is definitely the way to go if you do home develop, for sure. And if you find a roll or a film that you really like I shoot mostly HP5. That's kind of my go-to. I find it to be just like one of the nicest black and white films. Everybody kind of knows that already, but it's a super common one. But you can also push and pull it really nicely as well, and it reacts to that really nicely. So that's my go-to for sure. And you can buy that in 100-foot rolls.
Yeah, and it's
So
not
that's another
overly
benefit.
expensive. You're saving quite a bit of money if you bulk roll.
Yeah, yeah. I think it ends up being like $8 a roll or something like that. You bulk
Yeah,
roll.
something like that.
Yeah.
And so my favorite black and white is Kent Mirror 400. I love Kent Mirror 400, and I think I got my cost down to like $550 a roll or something like that because of how much
That's
cheaper it is than
awesome.
HP5.
Yeah.
And like, you can make any black and white film look like any other black and white film as long as it's not a T
Yeah.
series film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just depends on how you scan it and how much digital manipulation you want to do. You can get any look
Exactly.
and nobody will know the difference.
You really can. Yeah. Like there's a lot of latitude in the film, and you can adjust the contrast and the exposure and all that kind of stuff to kind of give it your own little flavor, or make it look however you want, really. But yeah, yeah, definitely. I hear you. That's a good way to go. $5 for rolls.
Yeah, you heard that and you're like, well, maybe not HP5.
Oh, I'll give it a shot.
It's really nice too, man. I've pushed that 3200 and developed in Rodinal, and the grain was not that bad.
Oh
Granted,
man.
when I'm developing, I have the AGO, the Vintage Visuals AGO, so it does
Yeah.
the horizontal rotational
And
development.
continuously does it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's super cool. I think I need to get that because they're not too expensive, and I have so much of a backlog that I need something to help me with it a little bit.
I'll put
Yeah.
you in touch with the guy. He's super nice, and he would love to work with you. I'm 100% positive he would.
No, I definitely make some videos too.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Because you'd be like, for you to branch out from repair to like the developing side of things too would be a whole new audience that you could get into, and then you could use that to introduce your photography.
I could. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
We got to be on that multi-level marketing. I'm going to ask a couple typical questions that I know
Yeah.
you've already answered on your TikTok or Instagram, but for people who may not have seen those, what are your top 3 cameras that you know are reliable workhorses that you would count on, that you see it on eBay, you know it can be fixed, you know it can be used. Which ones are your top three?
Top three. Okay, so top three cameras that are the most reliable. Because yeah, there's a lot of things that I kind of factor in there. I would say the Nikon F2. Um, Pretty much 9 out of 10 of those cameras I can bring back, and usually the meters as well. So the fact that they can be used with 1.5 volt batteries is a big plus also, for their meters. So you don't really need to push the calibration of the meters too much. And you can bring those back pretty much most of the time. They're just so well made. I think it's arguably probably the best mechanical SLR that's ever been produced, is the F2. And then you've got my favorites, which is the Minolta SRTs. I've had really good luck with those. Plus the parts, there's so many parts out there for them, because the SRTs from the 101 to the 303s, the supers, all of them are pretty compatible. They have like minor differences and little upgrades, but it was really just a refinement on an already beautiful design. And internally, they're very robust. So those are good ones too. So any of the SRTs are ones that I would choose, and then probably like the Pentax Spotmatic. It's a really great camera, and it's got an M42 mount on it too. So there's a lot of lens options for it. But also it's really well made. It was made in an era where things were more robust, and they're great, And the K1000 is pretty much a Spotmatic with a K mount, and those are great too. But I'd say the Spotmatics, Nikon F2, and the Minolta SRTs.
Just sold my Spotmatic.
Did you? Yeah.
I did. I sold it to my buddy for it was in great shape. I got it for a steal. It came with the SuperTac 55 1.8 on it.
Classic. Yeah.
And the only thing that was wrong with it is the light meter didn't work in it. And I never got it repaired. I just used an external light meter.
Okay.
But I loved that camera. It's just, I was so tired of taking my phone out to use as a light meter.
I mean, yeah, I think aesthetically that's one of the prettiest cameras. I really like the advanced lever as well.
Yes.
Like I love these, like the little details on it. It's really pretty. Those are kind of things that I hone in on. But for as far as light meters, like you were saying, most of the time, I'd say 8 times out of 10, it's not the actual meter itself that goes bad. Usually, it's just a bad connection somewhere in the camera, like some corrosion. And with the with the Spotmatics, and a lot with like the Olympus OM1s, and a lot of these cameras, they used a stainless steel contact in the battery compartment. And when you do that, you need a special type of flux in order to adhere the wire to it. And it's a more acidic flux in order to get it to stick. And over time, that acidity starts to corrode a lot easier. And so you get this corrosion on the backside of the battery compartments, and that will just stop the signal to the meter. So a lot of times just removing that, grinding that off, and then reapplying some solder to it will fix the meter itself. So it's a pretty simple fix a lot of times. But often it does require a full disassembly to do it, because the wire, if corrosion gets inside a wire, it can work its way up all the way through to the other end of it. And I've seen it where like it corrodes at the battery compartment, and then it's also corroded up at the circuit board up top too. So it works its way all the way through. So a lot of times you'll need to take it all the way apart and replace that whole wire. And I pretty much make that standard on any of my overhauls. I just kind of put a new power cable to all these cameras just to make it more reliable. But yeah, it's not too crazy of a fix. A lot of these you can bring back. And then if that doesn't work, it's usually the cells, like the CDS cells themselves, the ones that pick up the light. They just weaken over time, and there's not really much you can do about that.
You got to find a donor. Can you get a donor camera for that situation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
so a lot of
solution
times
is always a donor camera. That's what you're saying.
You got to cannibalize another camera, or camerabalize. But yeah, and pull them out of another camera. But then you're kind of in the same boat. You don't know if those are also weak. So it'd be great to like find someone or something that you could retrofit into it, like a new product, like new CDS cells or something. But I haven't even dove into that world at all.
You could probably digitize that part. There's somebody out there who's computer savvy enough they could digitize that with like an electronic sensor. There has to
I
be.
know, right? Yeah, that's the thing is that we just need people that are experienced in all these different fields to kind of come together and try to like bring these things back. I know that I saw recently that there was a company that was producing new like circuit boards for the Leica cameras, like the
Yeah.
M3s and whatnot, which I thought was super cool. I was like, oh, if we could just do that for a lot of these things, it would solve a lot of issues that we have. But I think just in time, I think we're going to have more of this kind of technology accessible and readily available to just like the common people.
Yeah, the
you know,
commons,
the
not just for
commons, like
the not just for the Leica shooters, the people who like Spotmatics too.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
The only reason I sold my Spotmatic is because I have a Mamiya Secor 1000 TL, which
Mhm.
they are very similar in
Those are
style
cool.
and function. The light meter doesn't work in it, so I'm
Yeah.
still using the external light meter. But I think I'm gonna get one of those hot shoe light meters that they have
Yeah.
now, or one of
Yeah.
the watch ones. I saw they're releasing a watch light meter where you can like spot meter with a watch.
Oh, that's super cool. Like a Spider-Man type of
Yeah,
thing where you
I
yeah,
feel like a
yeah, yeah.
superhero. I feel like Agent Cody Banks. Like,
With your gauntlet. Yeah. No,
yeah,
that's
man.
super cool.
There's a ton of innovation coming out, and what I'm most excited about lately. I caught flack for this. Somebody asked if I would rather have new film cameras or new film stocks, and I
Okay.
said new film stocks.
Uh-huh.
And so many people ate me alive for saying that because it might have been you who said this now that I think about it, but some camera repairmen said there's only a finite number of film cameras in the world. So either we need new ones to be released or we
Yeah.
need more camera repairmen. And now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds like
Could've been
something you might
could've been
say.
me. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, every camera out there right now on the market is a used camera for the most part, unless it's like the new Pentax or one of those cameras. But yeah, I think we like I said, we need a new mechanical camera. I think one of these companies need to jump on it and do it. Um, and just maybe like a special edition reintroduction of the F or like a reintroduction of like the K1000 or something like that. I think it would sell like crazy. I think there's a real want for it. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of in that boat. I think a new mechanical camera would be my choice for sure.
Now that I've had time to think about it and reflect and get yelled at enough, I would love a new Spotmatic. In
I
Pentax, I
know.
do think it's going to be Pentax.
Yeah,
If a
I
new
think so
SLR
too.
comes out, it's going to be Ricoh Pentax that does it
Yeah.
because they're just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point.
Hmm.
Like the GR is what's keeping that company in business right now
Uh-huh.
somehow.
Yeah.
So they could really dig into that film market with a new like K1000 or Spotmatic just at a good price point. It doesn't need to be
Uh-huh.
anything crazy.
Yeah.
Don't make it too complicated. Something you can fix yourself. And you're right. Pentax would clean up with that
It would.
camera.
There's a big market for it, and I think they've kind of flirted with the idea a little bit. But I just hope that they don't put too much into it. Like make it pretty bare bones. Like it doesn't need to be crazy. It doesn't need any automatic features or anything like that. Just make it like as bare bones as possible, and I think that would be better because a lot of the cameras that I work on, and I've chose these cameras because they are more simple, and simple things age well. There's less that can go wrong. There's less that can happen to it, and they're easier to repair from that standpoint. When you start getting into cameras with all these automatic features like shutter priority and aperture priority, they're relying on a lot of like these electronic components, and it just becomes a lot more complex to try to troubleshoot these cameras. And I think just if they made something bare bones, simple, mechanical, people would really like it. I would. That's for sure. I might just be talking for myself, but I'd really like it.
You're right. I've
Um,
seen people 3D printing their own SLR cameras now. And
yeah,
if one person can sit there and 3D print some stuff that's putting out good results, I know Pentax can output a new camera that's awesome.
yeah, and yeah, they already have like a history of all these beautiful mechanical cameras that they've
Yeah.
produced. So to just tap into that, like, and just bring one back, like, that's
Just
new.
one.
Just bring
All
one
we
of them
want
back.
is just
Yeah,
one, man.
bring
Take
back
a
the
risk.
Spotmatic. Yeah,
Pentax, if you're listening,
yeah,
please bring us back a Spotmatic or K1000.
hmm
I
yeah.
think Pentax might be the only company that would even watch this show. Pentax is like, are there good ideas out there? because I see like Pentax, the Pentax half frame. What is it? The 17.
Hmm.
I was so excited about that camera until I found out it was a half frame, and
Yeah,
then I was like, 72 photos. Do you
it's
have
a
an idea
lot.
how long it'll take me to shoot that?
I know. Yeah, it's a lot. It'd be cool if it was like kind of like the Konica, the Autorex. You know that camera that you can switch between full frame, half frame. That's super
Yeah.
cool. I haven't really seen that in many other cameras, but that's a really cool feature in that one. That it just kind of blocks half the frame out, which is really cool. I think that would have been a cool idea, but I think it was marketed more towards people getting into film, coming from the digital world and stepping into film photography, where 72 shots could be really appealing because when you're shooting digital, you can take as many photos as you want. So it doesn't feel as
You're just
limited, I
one
suppose.
SD card away.
Yeah, yeah. But for me, I really like film photography for the fact that, and I think a lot of people do, they're drawn to it because of its like, there's like limitations that are put around you. And it forces you into a mindset where you do think about each shot a little bit more, and that little bit more of concentration um, sometimes produces better photos because like you're really thinking about what you're doing uh, for the most part. But you can, I mean, that's another thing is like that's the whole film versus digital thing. It's like you can apply that to digital as well, and you can shoot that way. But you just have all these other options that are very enticing that tend to pull you away from that.
When I shoot digital and I'm walking along and I see something and I'm like, I don't know, I'll take a picture of it.
Uh huh.
I'll look at it in post.
Yeah.
And then with the film camera, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not taking a
Yeah.
picture. That's stupid. Why would I ever think about taking that photo? I'll come home from vacation with a very heavy lean towards 1,000 digital shots, depending on how
Hmm.
long I'm gone. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
have to go through all these.
I
But I'm
know.
more
Yeah.
excited about the 12 rolls of film I developed.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
I'm the
It's
same
just,
way. Yeah.
it feels, I feel bad selling digital prints because I'll sell prints now and then.
Hmm.
And I almost feel disingenuous having like a film centric podcast. And I'm like, you want to buy my digital print though? I don't know. I'll double shoot the same thing a lot of times. Once I find the composition that I like in digital,
Yeah.
then I'll shoot it on film. And I'm like,
I've done
well,
that. Yeah. I've done that for
yeah,
sure. Cause like I do a lot of where I'm walking around in the same places every day. I take my son for a walk around town and I know these kind of like these subjects that are kind of scattered around town that I've shot digitally. And then I'll take my, like if it's a nice day, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take my film camera over there and take a shot of this thing that I actually really liked that I shot digitally, but and see how it turns out that way. But yeah, I do. I have things like that I've mapped out and definitely gone back and reshot on film.
it's the way to do it. It's a
Yeah,
test run.
yeah.
I would use I would use my camera as a light meter if it was more convenient to do so. I
Hmm.
trust my camera's light meter. I would trust that light meter with my life. I have the A7 IV for video and photo,
Yeah, great camera.
and I trust that thing's light meter so much. Let me
Hmm.
rephrase. I trust its histogram so much, not so much its actual
Yeah,
light meter.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it. It does.
the camera lies aggressively.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the same way with these internal meters in these old film cameras. Is that they're averaging meters. So if you're in a high contrast situation, you can't always trust what it's telling you because it's trying to balance in between the two. So I definitely having a spot meter or, when I'm metering for a location, I'll like meter the ground and I'll meter the sky and then I'll kind of meter like a patch of grass or something and try to like figure out like a middle ground. And that's kind of how I do it. But you were talking about getting like a mounted light meter, right? Like which one were
Yeah.
you thinking? Like I know that Reveni Labs makes one, TT Artisan makes one. Those are
That
those are
one.
really reliable as well. Yeah, especially if you want to get off your phone.
It's like $80, I think,
Yeah, it's
for
not too
to get it
bad.
brand new.
Yeah,
It's
and you
not
can
bad at
pop that on
all.
any camera. Yeah, so that's a pretty good way to do it.
Sorry, I'm changing subjects out of here because
Hmm.
that just popped into my head. You were talking about learning different things. Like you're working on learning lenses.
Yeah.
You've said eventually you want to get into the medium format stuff, and
Hmm.
then you want to open a brick and mortar shop.
At some
Are those
point.
things you want to learn before you get to the brick and mortar shop?
Kind of, yeah. I'd like to be able to have as many services as possible to kind of cover a wide variety. But mainly, I want to open like a store eventually, just to kind of be able to do something in my community and like support the photographers here. sell film and like just try to keep it alive, right? But yeah, with the free time that I have, when I'm not watching my son or working on cameras, I'm trying to learn lenses, and that's been super fun. And I just got the new Ravenni Labs lens tester that they just produced, so I got like the first batch of it.
Oh,
And yeah, so that's really cool. It allows you to test the infinity focus on your lenses. And I didn't really want to do anything for customers as far as lenses go before I had that. And it came sooner than I thought it would. But I want to be able to like have something where I can test it and kind of like know for sure that when I send it back to them, it's going to work properly. Just like with my shutter speed tester and whatnot, like I wanted to have that before I ever started working for customers because um, there's a lot of back and forth if you don't have that. Like, they'll and disappointing. Like, imagine you give someone a camera and then they shoot a roll through it, or they take it on vacation or something, and then it ends up not working for them. Then they had to send it back to you, and it becomes this whole back and forth thing, and it's very frustrating, on both ends. So having that lens tester is going to make it a lot easier for me, but also kind of help guide me as far as what might be wrong with a lens too. So it's like one thing to take it apart and clean it, but if the infinity focus is off, like, and where do you even start, to like figure that out if you don't have some kind of readout or something to assist you? You could go out and like point it at a tree far away, but it's not as accurate as you may want it to be.
yeah, you're at all guesstimation at that point.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of
man, that's
guesstimation.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is it as satisfying as the camera repair part, or is this a necessity of having a camera repair business?
I think I make it as excited about it. I think it's really cool. They go hand in hand, of course, but also it's like an area that bridges the gap between the film and digital world, because a lot of people shoot with vintage glass on their new digital cameras. So it's like it kind of allows me to kind of bridge that gap a little bit. I do that myself. Like, I don't have any new lenses. All the lenses that I have are old manual focus lenses, and I'll throw them on my Nikon D3 or my D810 and shoot with those. Just because I like the way they look, the build, the characteristics of it, I suppose. And yeah, so I think that for me is really exciting to be able to bridge that gap, offer a little bit more for people, and I do find them really fascinating and interesting as well. So it's fun. Yeah,
Does the brick and mortar thing scare you a little bit? Because I
definitely.
saw
Yeah.
Freestyle just close down their physical location.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, it's happening more often than, and that's kind of one of the things I've been hesitant about is, the overhead goes way up, and you don't it's a gamble. Like, you don't know if it's actually going to work or not, and if there's enough of a like local community in order to support it. And I think being able to offer camera repairs goes a long way because I'll always have that, and I get people sending me cameras from all over the world, which is pretty cool. Like, if they're willing to pay the shipping, I'll take them from wherever. But it's that'll always be there. And so I think that gives me an advantage as far as being able to support myself with that, and then also have the ability to do something in the community. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm worried about as far as jumping into that. Because right now I got it pretty good. I can just kind of come into my backyard and sit down and do my work, and um, my overhead's not that crazy. So, and it also allows me to keep my prices down a little bit for people.
Yeah, you charge fair prices. I was shocked when you. I can't remember what your price was, but I remember being shocked of just like a CLA.
Hmm.
Because I had a quote for a CLA, and I was like, he charges how much for a CLA? What was it for like just a baseline CLA?
Yeah, so for an overhaul, right now I charge 195 for that, and that's a full disassembly of the camera. I clean all the internal components and timing mechanisms. I re-oil everything. I replace all the internal cushions as well, because a lot of people don't know that, if your light seals are bad on your camera, there's like 20 internal pieces of foam and cushions inside your camera, like around your mirror box and like around these areas that are most definitely in the same condition or worse. And those are falling apart and like mixing in with like the springs and the gears and the old grease and oil that's in there, and it just creates a lot of friction and stress inside the camera. And also the old foam turns slightly acidic. Like, there's that adhesive backing on the foam, turns slightly acidic and starts to corrode like everything that it's sitting on. So it's like eating your camera alive from the inside. So I take all of that out, replace it with new foam, and then put it back together and calibrate it. And that's 195 for that. Then I also offer like a tune-up service, which if your camera's had a CLA within the last decade, usually it just needs a little bit of a tune-up to like make sure the shutter speeds are right and test the light meter and calibrate that a little bit. And I also offer a package like that. But yeah, it's less than a lot of these places that have a brick and mortar store, which I totally get it. Like I'm not like bashing them at all because that's a big overhead. They have people working for them. They've got like a whole building that they need to support, and it's not easy to do that. So I pass that discount off to my customers. Plus, they have to pay shipping, so it all kind of adds up.
I don't know, man. That shipping is getting up there in price. I sent something
Yeah.
out your way the other day, and it was $27.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
I
know.
was like, whew. It's gone up. It's gone up $10 since like April to send things out there from my place.
Yeah, yeah.
No idea what's going
It's
on.
pretty wild, right? And I think around this time of year it goes up a bit because of the influx of like presents and things like that are getting sent around the holidays and whatnot. But yeah, it's gone up in price quite a bit. And I try to factor that in and try to keep it as reasonable as possible. Like I was charging quite a bit less, a couple of years ago. I think I was doing like 155 for an overhaul, but it got to the point where it just wasn't sustainable on my end. So I'm trying to find that like balance of like what's good for people and what's also gonna allow me to keep going.
Because you have to do it all. You have to do the social media side, the getting back to customers side, the actual repair part of it. It's
It's just
I
me.
have
Yeah.
owned a business before. It sucks. It sucks trying to juggle all those things.
There's a lot more to it than because I like to just repair the cameras like and do that, but there's a lot more to the business side, the admin work, the getting back to customers, and honestly, like I feel so bad sometimes because like I like with DMs and stuff like that, I don't really have the time a lot of times to get back to them. The best way to contact me is through email for sure, because and I like working through email because there's like this with DMs, people expect you to get back to them right away. It's like a text message. I'm also bad with those. But but with email, like there's this idea to it that's like if it takes a day or so to get back, like there's this kind of like leniency to emails, I think a little bit more. And I check my emails like once a day. And I'm one of those people that just has my phone on airplane mode most of the day because I just I don't like the idea of being able to be contacted 24/7. I've always kind of resented that. And I like to be kind of like present with whoever I'm with or whatever I'm doing, and especially around my son now because I don't want him to just see me on my phone all the time. Yeah, I try my best with it. Try to because I get so many questions too, a lot more than I ever expected about every kind of camera. Through my TikTok and through my Instagram, and I try to get back to him as many as I can. But yeah, there's part of me that feels kind of bad sometimes because it'll be like I'll check the message and it's like, oh, they reached out to me 8 weeks ago. I should probably
I guess you hit them back.
try to answer this question for them. But it is what it is. I have to prioritize in order to make it work.
I get a lot of messages because of the podcast.
Yeah.
Probably nowhere near as much as you do because a lot of people need more repairs than they need to talk to a podcast host. But it's like I feel bad not getting back to them right away. So
Yeah.
I've turned off my notifications for Instagram, specifically Instagram Messenger. Like Facebook or whatever, they leave me alone. Substack, it's not nearly as packed. But I think I have more messages from way more people than actually follow me on Instagram. Just
Yeah.
because it's like they're trying to tell me a story or relate or tell me how much they like the podcast or what guests I should have on. And I get back to as many of them as I can. It just might, actually, I get back to all of them. If I'm being honest, on every platform. But it's like, it might take a week. It might take a week and a half
Yeah.
because of everything else that's going on in the world. And it's like, I remember the 90s, man. I remember wandering around town. Mom didn't know where I was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like 11:30 at night. I jumped the fence at the high school pool and was going swimming. So Like, I remember that. Mom can't find me and she doesn't know where I am, so she's just gonna have to wait until I get home.
Yeah. Yeah, you walk out that door and it's like you could be gone forever. Like
Yeah, you're just out in the woods doing something.
yeah, yeah.
You're either having the best time of your life or causing generational trauma. That's like what's going on. It was never just an average day when mom didn't know where you were, man.
Oh man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful thing about like how easy it is to be connected, but like and like reach out to people and the instant information and all of that that we have these days. But there's there's something that I like long for, like the disconnection, the just being like in my life, and not like being in everybody else's life all day long, So it's like you need that, I think. At least I do, And I'm like kind of an introvert where like I really thrive off of like alone time. So I try to like structure my world in a way where I get a lot of that as much as I possibly can. And I think disconnecting is really important for me.
I have had this theory for years that the US government, when you go to like a national park or something, the
Uh-huh.
US government has intentionally made service absolutely horrible there, so you actually have to experience the nature. Because there's a national park here in Michigan, and there's cell towers all around this place. So I know
Uh-huh.
the technology is there for them to have service, but
Yeah.
anytime you drive into one of these state forests or national forests, the service goes away. I am convinced that there's some kind of conspiracy for
Mm.
these natural places to not have service so you enjoy the nature more, and I think they should implement it in more places.
I think so too. I like that one. I'm big on conspiracies for sure. No, I could see
I
it
see
for
the X
sure.
Files poster.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite show. I love it. Yeah, and that's my one of my biggest hobbies outside of cameras is ufology probably. And I
Really?
do yeah, I spend a lot of time learning about that. Very interested in it, but that and gardening. So
Gardening, UFOs, and film cameras, man.
that sums me up for the most part.
Have you considered doing a Skillshare course for camera repair?
Oh, that's interesting. Not really. No, no. But I mean, I'd be open to it.
I think people would pay to do this. I think if you came up with a course, and you could even write your own manual to go along with the course, so you can double
Yeah,
dip on that. That'd be
yeah.
that'd be really cool. I would pay for that. I would watch
That's a good
that.
avenue. Yeah, I hadn't actually thought about like putting it on a platform like that because I'm definitely working on my own CLA guides for all the different cameras that I work with. To kind of be able to make that available on my website for people that are interested in learning it. Because I think it's important. Not only for us to have more camera repair people because it really is kind of a dying art. Like there's all the old heads that used to like do this and work in these camera shops. They've retired and they kind of took all the information with them and didn't train a new generation. So it's a lot of people kind of just that are interested in this, but it's a difficult thing to start learning. I learned through just trial and error, just taking cameras apart and putting them back together, breaking a lot of cameras and then figuring out what I did wrong and trying to fix them. Some cameras I would, put away because they frustrated me, and then I'd come back to them a year or 2 years later and like have accumulated a bit more knowledge and been able to like pull them out and figure out what was going on and fix them. So it's just there's a lot of you need a lot of time to learn the craft, and it just takes a while to do it. And I think if yeah, like something like a Skillshare or producing more CLA guides and with my like live, I'm trying to like help people out in that way. But I think that would really help bring in a new generation of camera repair people, not only if they wanted to do it for like a job or like a business, but just to be able to repair your own camera if something goes wrong, like in the field. Um, I think it'd be an important skill to have, and that's one of the things that really got me into this is that I wanted to not rely on somebody if my camera broke. Like I wanted to just be able to like know how it worked and to fix it. Cause when I started this, I didn't even know if there were camera repair people anymore. Like the closest camera shop to me was like 250 miles away. So like I didn't have like a local resource to like it's like when I lived in Mount Shasta and there was just nothing around. I didn't have a local resource. I wasn't online when I lived up there. Like I didn't even have an Instagram or anything. I kind of like lived in a bubble in the mountains, and which is beautiful. Like it suited me very well. But um, yeah, I just wasn't connected to anybody, and I didn't. I just had to do it myself, and that's just kind of how I started. So yeah, I think like a Skillshare would be really cool. I'm gonna look into that, and see what I could do there. But I think any way that I can help bring a new generation of camera repair people, because we need it. Like there's so many cameras out there, and there's so many different avenues that people could go down with this. Like I specialize in mechanical 35 millimeter SLRs, and I want to expand out from there. But there's people that could work on large format cameras. There's people that can work on point and shoots and electronic cameras, and they could specialize in any of these different areas. And we need it. There's I turn down more cameras than I accept.
So there's plenty of business out there,
There's
is what you're
plenty of
saying.
business.
It's
Yeah, there's
just
plenty of
who's gonna
business.
fix the Contax T2s. It's just, if one person can fix a Contax T2 in the U.S., they're gonna make so much money.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Yeah, yeah. And it's that way with a lot of things. Yeah, there's opportunity, and as time goes on, these cameras just get older, so they need more and more help, and until like we get a new mechanical camera, like we were saying, um, your only options are cameras that are 50 years old and older. So
On the plus side, the craftsmanship on that was amazing. So those things will last.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
lasting longer than the digitals.
Yeah, a lot of times they just need to be taken apart and cleaned and re-oiled, and then they start to run nice and smooth again. And then if you have the tools to like calibrate them, that's really all you need.
I found so my Canon A1 that I have was found in a like a sealed Tupperware container in a climate controlled room. To get that thing up and running and in tip top shape, it
Hmm.
just needed to have a little oil in to fix the Canon cough.
Yeah,
But other than that, it was just like I'm blowing into like a Nintendo 64 cassette, and that thing has worked flawlessly.
heck yeah.
The guy I got it from, his dad passed,
Mhm.
and he was a photographer, but he didn't shoot film. So he's like, "Would you like this camera?" And he just
Yeah.
gave it to me.
Oh, great.
And
Yeah, yeah.
phenomenal condition. I love this camera so much. I sing the praises of that like you sing the praises of the SRT.
It's a wonderful camera. Like I really like. I mean, I can find something that I love about every camera because being inside these cameras a lot, day in and day out, I've really grown to appreciate like the craftsmanship that went into it. And it's one thing to like clean and restore a camera, but to build a camera and to like make a new camera is mind blowing to me. Like the amount of people and the amount of effort, the teams of people, like from designers to craftsmen to the engineers, like all of them coming together to produce like these cameras. They're all really beautiful and fascinating and interesting, and they all have something that's really cool about them. And there's a camera for everybody, and so I think I think they're wonderful. I like the A series a lot, but I've just specialized in these old mechanical cameras. But I think, like we were saying, as technology increases, I think the ability to repair those types of cameras as well is going to go up. So especially with like we haven't even dipped into like AI or anything like that. And like there's things that I
Yeah.
don't like about AI, but there's things that I think there's a lot of promise and things that could be good about it, as far as implementing the ability to repair these things on a whole nother level in the future and like making that ability easier for like people that work in their backyards like me.
You said a controversial statement there, and I don't know if you realized it. It had nothing to do with AI. You said you find something beautiful about every camera.
Hmm.
And I have the counter argument to this, and
Okay.
I'm going to grab it right now. This is the most hated camera that I have. It is the Argus C44.
Uh-huh.
And I got a box that had like 9 or 10 of these in it. And I have
Okay.
just been sending them to random people that I'm friends with or like the show. And it's really like putting a generational curse on someone's family when you send them this camera because they're like, it's a gift, so I can't get rid of it. But I hate this experience because it always tears the film when you're trying to rewind it. The focusing is a nightmare. The rangefinder is trash. And this is just, it's a beauty. Okay, it's a pretty camera.
There we
It's a
go.
pretty camera. But other than that, this is just a paperweight. And that is my counter argument to there's beauty in every camera. There's beauty in every camera except the Argus C44.
Yeah, yeah. I think most definitely. I'm there with you with as far as the usability of some of these cameras, it can become detrimental to you. But I think of it from like I think it's so beautiful when human beings come together to produce something like that. Like I think there's so many variables that could have happened and that had to happen in order to make something like that come into our reality, right? Because everything that you see around you comes from our imagination. Like it's all built in somebody's head, and then in order to like take that and get a group of people to come together and to invest their time and their lives to make something like this, I think that alone is really beautiful, even if the usability of it nowadays is trash. But um, I think I think that's really cool, and that's something that I think about a lot because these things are complex, like, and they took a lot of thought in order to produce. And I'm just looking at an open camera down here to my right. But yeah, they're really cool. And but yeah, some lean more towards repairability, and that's what I focus on for the most part: repairability, usability, and accessibility, pretty much. And with that one, I have no idea who would even fix that for you, or if it's possible to fix it.
Oh no, they work. They still
Yeah,
all work
they
just
still
fine.
work.
All 10 of them worked. Oh yeah,
Amazing.
perfectly fine.
That's amazing.
It's just
Yeah.
the functionality was not there. I wrote this piece on Substack, and I think it's called Broken Machines, and it's
Uh-huh.
all about how I don't know if you are subscribed to my Substack or read
I
that
am.
piece,
Yeah, I
but
read it. Yeah.
oh, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like we expect everything to be stacked up, ready to go. That machine's supposed to run perfectly. Everything's
Hmm.
supposed to come together right at once. And at
Hmm.
some point, the Sony A7 IV was inspired by the Argus C44. So I can't be too
Yeah.
mad at this camera. Like, one thing led to another. We went
Yeah.
from the worst thing I have ever held and shot to this amazing camera that can shoot photo, video at rates people never even thought possible. We have the
Yeah.
Hasselblad X2D that's taking pictures of the entire planet from ground level somehow.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's
Incredible.
just,
Yeah.
there's 100 megapixels. Why? I didn't know you could do that. It's just so crazy that we went from these film cameras to these digital cameras to what's coming next. The LiDAR technology where we're scanning the South American jungle now, and then we're implementing that into point and shoot cameras that may or may not come out.
Yeah, I think about that a lot too. I'm like, what's going to be the next step for photography? Like, because right now we're in the digital age for it, as far as things being produced. But like, there's going to be something after that too, and it's going to make all our digital cameras vintage.
It's like, oh, you're shooting an A7 IV, huh? Going old school?
Grandpa. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I think I know what the next step is
Mm.
for photography, and I don't like it.
What is it?
I think it's neural implants. We're going to use our eyes as the camera.
Gonna be
I
the
think
eyes,
that's the
yeah.
logical next step for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But I
don't like
mean,
that.
what does that even mean? At that point, I'm just going to be live streaming through my eyeballs. Like, yeah, maybe.
Makes
I
setup
don't
way
want that
easier.
though. The thing is, I don't want that. Like, I'm trying to get away from all of that kind of stuff. And like, there's good and bad to it, but like, I don't want to integrate it into my body, at least at this point.
Yeah, not right now. Maybe when you get real tired of like the top-down view and like getting your lighting right. It's just if you could just control all of that in your mind. If you could, they're gonna eventually. I'm gonna go a little conspiracy theory on this one. They're eventually gonna be able to integrate that AI with what your eyes take a photo of, and you're gonna be able to fake what you imagine as a photo.
Yeah, you can just tap into your imagination and print it out.
Yeah, I want those people gone. It's the printing thing is too. I miss printing because it's all digital.
Yeah.
This is the first pieces of my photography that I have ever actually printed myself. Like I paid for the print to be shipped here, but like that's the first big print I've ever had. And I just held it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, thank you. I probably ripped that off from somebody. I'm sure I've seen it a billion times on Instagram, Substack, wherever. But this one's mine, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's printing is a big thing, but like we were talking about that engineered obsolescence where you get a printer and then you want to print your work, so you do, and then you go to buy the ink, and it's cheaper to buy another printer that already has the ink
Crazy.
in it.
It's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
stupid business model.
It really is like you wonder like what the bottleneck there is and like why it's happening, and if it is like some nefarious thing that's going on, but I'm not sure. Like I don't know any of the background to like the technology or like the business side of it or anything like that. But yeah, ink is super expensive. And yeah, like a lot of photos just live and die on the phone, right? Like they barely any of them. I don't know. I'd even say maybe less than 1% of photos that people take actually make it to print and like hang on a wall or in a photo album or something like that. And I think that is it's a, if you're a photographer and like you're taking photos, like I think it's crucial. Like you need to hold it in your hand. It's part of the real experience. So I definitely recommend to anybody, and also like support the print shops too. Send your work out to get it printed and back to you. And I think it makes a big difference to have like a physical portfolio. Like I have a lot of my photos that are printed, and I have just like it's like a little the Canon printers and the selfie
The
printers.
selfie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that a lot, and it just allows me to hold it physically in my hand and look at it differently, and I think it's been wonderful, and I can print photos out for my family and stuff, so that's really nice. But it's super easy, and you don't really need to buy ink for it, which is really cool. So it just kind of comes with the paper. So even if it's just something simple like that, I think it makes a world of difference to print out the photos that you love and have a physical copy of them.
I agree with you completely, especially since this and like those little I made little postcards of this that I sent out to people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I charged like $5. They sold out so fast.
Oh, that's
I think
awesome.
I have like two or three I held back for some people. But other than that, they were just gone. And
Yeah.
it's wild that somebody paid me for my photography, even if it was $5 on a postcard.
Hmm.
Like, you can make money doing this? I have one more question for you before I let you go, because I know what time is it here. It's finished. Oh yeah, 4:32. I won't take up too much more of your time. But what are some goals that you have set for the next year for AOK Camera?
For AOK, yeah. So big goals. It's the biggest next one is going to be. I've stopped learning new cameras. I took a break, and I just kind of work on the cameras that I know. And I've started learning lenses, like we were talking about. And I think that's going to be the next big thing for AOK camera is being able to take in lenses for customers and be able to service them and get those working again because there's even less people that work on lenses than there are cameras. So I think that's really important moving forward, just for the industry, for the community, and it's going to be a good pairing for the film cameras that I already work on, as well as bridging the gap between film and the digital world a little bit there with the lenses at least. I think that's like one of my biggest goals. And then yeah, like you really got me thinking about like the Skillshare thing. I think that's really cool. I'm going to look into that. But also producing like CLA guides and maybe even moving the live stream because I do the live stream about 5 days a week at night. Maybe even moving that to YouTube or something like that, but we'll see. Just because it archives it, which is really nice, so people can go back and watch them whenever they want. But I've been working on kind of like upgrading the system for the live stream and either doing that or like multi-streaming to multiple platforms at once, just to kind of be able to connect with more people. So those are kind of my big goals. But I'd say lenses, yeah, lenses are the big one.
I am looking forward to seeing whatever you were working on, man, because already love what you're doing. I fell asleep the other night watching your video, that live repair. I
I
went
get
out,
that a
dude.
lot.
I was cold. You have a very relaxing. It's like I said, it's the Bob Ross of camera repair.
Well, I thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I thank you for having me on the podcast. This has been really fun. It's been good to get to know you. And yeah, I just appreciate what you're doing. So thank you.